Hello everyone. We're going to talk about two-frame setup method, which is six-point method. So what do you know about 6 points, right? Easy. 6 equals 3 plus 3, right? So if you already know the 3-point method, you just need to touch up 3 more positions. But you may ask why? Why do I need to touch up 3 more positions? So let's look at here. 3-point method is used for the tools that is straight in line with the J6 faceplate. So that's the J6, the very end of the robot arm, right? The center of the faceplate, which is the default two center point, that's there, right? So if the tooling is a straight tool, right, not bend, you can use 3-point method, it's good. But in this particular tool, you can see here, it's a sort of welding gun. It's bent. It's an angle in there, right? The angle there make things complicated, right? So if you just use, if you want, you can use 3-point method uh, to teach the TCP, but it's not perfect. Not perfect because the 3-point method only will keep the old orientation of the X and Y. So you will get the coordinate system like this. But you know, your tooling is in angle on here, right? Remember we talked about positive Z supposed to straight from the tooling go out on there. But with this, it doesn't work in this way, right? So if you look at the next picture, you may understand what I mean, right? If you look at the different, why this one is good, because this one, you can see the angle of your coordinate system is line up with your bend tooling, right? So with the 3 additional point, you can twist the coordinate system in such way that is aligned with the tool tip. So the two movements move in such more intuitive way. So that makes more natural, in the natural way for you. So you have this band tooling to move around, right? So that's the reason for those 3 additional point you need to teach. So when you open up the teach pendant with the 6-point method, you will see here, right? I'm doing the two-frame setup using the 6-point XZ method, and you have the old friend 3 approach points on here, 1, 2, 3. It's exactly the same way as the 3-point method. And these 3 additional points is called orange uh, orange origin point or size. I don't, yeah, I don't even know what do they call this point. So basically, I should say I know, yeah, I know what do they mean by this name. It's the beginning of your coordinate system. So with these 3, 1, 2, 3 approach point, you touch up, you teach the X, Y, Z, the location of your TCP. Then with the lower 6, the 3 additional point, you want to get the angle change. You see here, minus 36, 90 degree. Those are the result of your additional 3 points. So when you teach robot this coordinate system, where do you start? So that will be your original point on this one. So that particularly is this one. I'm going to show you in the handling pro. So that's the starting point. Then you need to let the robot know which way is your X direction. So you need to teach a point along the X direction. Then you need to teach another point, which is on the Z direction. Once you finish these 3 points, those WPR will be calculated. All right, so that is what you need to do on top of the 3-point method. Let's do it on the handling pro. So with Handling Pro, right now we have the pointer, right? So I want to get a complicated tooling, a different one, right? So this is too simple to demonstrate 6-point method. So if you remember the shift chord, bring up the um, jog menu, right? So I remember on number five, yeah, on number five, I set up a welding torch, right? Welding gun on here. You can see it's really complicated, right? Offset, offset, and also bend. All right. I will set up this tooling with 3-point method. As you can see, you can sort of do that, but not perfect, right? So let's see how the 3-point will do with the bend tool, right? So if you remember menu, 6 setup, and 2-frame, right? Right now it's number 1. That's not the one you want. You want to have for example, I want to use number 5, right? So right now it's on number 5, right? I name it as welding 3. That means I want to use 3-point. Then I will use 6-point to do it again, right? So for comparison. So we choose number 5, highlight and detail. Detail will just accept 3 points, right? So again, in order to speed up the video, I already record those 3 positions. All right, let me just bring up the position register. So I think it's somewhere on, yeah, brown corner torch 3 top. So I'm going to move there. Shift move to speed up. It's a crash, doesn't matter, right? So you can see here, let me zoom in. Remember that we have to find a reference point, right? Reference points can be anywhere, right? As long as it's fixed. So now I'm choosing the corner, the very corner of this box as a reference point that's there, right? So that's where I want to uh, to work with, all right? So let me clear that out. So right now I'm doing the first point top to that corner, right? So if I going back to the menu setup, so I'm gonna record that as the first point, shift record. So it's being recorded. Now I highlight to second one. I need to go to the second position. Again, I just cheated. I already not cheated. I predefined like, in order to make this video quicker, right? Shift move to in the lab. If you want to do it, you have to jog the robot, right? So if you look at it, I'm changing my torque, my welding torch to the end, and I could go lower, even bend a little bit, but it's really hard to do that. I think this is good enough to record on the second one, right? So I record on the top. Now I record on the from the front to the back, right? So that will be my second position. So menu, setup, and record on the second one, shift record. So I just need to get one more to go. I highlight number 3. I already record that on the next one. So shift move to. All right. So again, it's gonna. That's the good thing with the simulation. We don't need to worry about crash. Right. So in the real world, you cannot do that. So this is the one on the same point on the side. Right. Even though it's not perfect 90-degree, I can accept it. So go to menu, setup, at number 6, and I'm gonna record on number 3. Once I record, you can see here currently XYZ is all 0, WPR all 0. When I record it, the software will calculate, get the result, right? Negative 92, 0.7, 43.9. So that means if you look at the on this, right, similar, if you look at on this will be 400 something, right? And that is different from there. And also X has some offset, right? So this is what I get from the real touch up on here, or real teach on here, right? So um, let me zoom out to show you what is not perfect with 3-point method. So if I move to the first one, shift move to, so you can see this is the location on the first point. I already touch up the, already teach the two frame number 5. So I need to jog the two frame number 5 to verify that if it's good or not, right? So if you remember, if the idea situation is that if you do the Z direction, positive Z, supposed to go along with the tooling, go to either this direction or go to that direction, right? That's the perfect situation we want because that match up with the shape of your tooling, right? But with 3-point method, you cannot do that, right? It's not sufficient to do that. So I'm going to jog in tool to let you look at it. Right now we're in tool coordinate, right? Remember, I already show you the Z movement, right? That's what we're supposed to see on there. But instead you see this, right? Positive Z, see what happened, right? It didn't go as what we expect because right now robot X, the positive Z is like this. It's crash on there, I'll stop here, right? So it didn't go like this. It's supposed to be, but it goes this way, right? So that's not what we expect, what we hope, right? We want to have a better setup with uh, with the tooling to naturally go along with your tooling direction, right? So I hope everybody understand the limitation with 3-point method, right? You can work with the this 3-point method, but not perfect, right? Then let's learn this 6-point method, right? So in order to compare, right? So I create another two frame, all right? So let me bring up number 6. So right now it's 5. I'll type in 6. Shift chord number 6. Okay, all right. Uh, it's changed to number 6, but okay, shift chord. I want to have some color difference. All right. Remember that you remember on here, I'm showing you this different color, right? I'm trying to get that color back. So it has to be the cat, right? Let me try again, all right? I don't know why I couldn't get the old color back. Mm, all right, looks like I couldn't get back, all right? Just choose different color, all right? Let me see. Yeah, all right. So let me choose a different color on this, all right? And uh, I'll close this. So right now you can see I'm still on number 5, so that's not good. I need to teach number 6. I change to uh, different one. Let me get my mouse on here. You can press the frame and type in number 6 as number. Right? Enter. So right now you have number 6. All right. So it goes to the 6-point method. All right. So if you it didn't, you can choose from here. Right. Click the F2 method, highlight the 6-point XZ. Right. And they're different method, but I'm going to talk about this one first. All right. So like I said, For the two frame, the 6 point, the first three is the same as before. So I can just keep using the old 3 point from two frame number 5. So I'm going to switch to number 5. And because they already recorded, I should use the shift move to speed up. All right. So this is right now, it's on the two frame number 5 approach point 1. So I'm going to switch to number 6 and record that as approach 1, shift record. So this one is being recorded. So I'm gonna just jogging between these two. All right, go to number 5 and highlight number 2, shift move to. Right, just use the previous record position to transfer to number 6. Right, go back to 6 and then highlight number 2, shift record. So I transfer two of them. Now I go back to number 5 and highlight number 3, shift move to, move robot to that location. All right. Now I need to go to number 6 and highlight, yeah, number 3 is there, right? Shift record. So I have those three positions recorded. All right. So uh, let me get rid of this collision. It's just the software glitch. It didn't update. Yeah, it update on there now. Okay. So let me go back to the 6 here. So now those are the three additional points. So what are we gonna do with the first one? So basically I can just use the first one as the starting point. So shift move to, you can see I'm going to move to the original position on here. Again, it didn't update. Let me update on there. Right. Menu and 6. Right. So this is on the top. I want to use the still I want to use this corner at the beginning as the beginning point to teach the coordinate system. You will see what I do with the other 2 points, right, as I go. So now I just need to highlight the original point on here. Shift record. So that's the starting point. So the next one you can see here, X direction point. So in here, what we are being offered for an opportunity to set up which direction you want to use to set up as X, right? So you can, let me zoom out, right? So you can see that in world, right? In world, this is positive X and this is positive Y, right? But that's default system design, right? There's no way you can change it. But right now in two frame, we can we can change the frame direction we want, right? So now because the software gave you this opportunity, where do you want to define as X? So for example, I just want to define this, I want to define this direction as my positive X direction because I could, I want, all right, I want to do that, right? So let's try it just for fun to illustration purpose, right? But in order to move robot to that direction, I have to choose coordinate system, right? So I know in world, just like I said, in world, if I go to want to go that direction, that's supposed to be minus y, right? So if you remember that, so I will jog my robot in world minus y. That's got go along with the edge of the box, right? So I move to a certain distance from the original point to let the robot know, okay, I want you to set up from the original point to here as my positive X direction. So shift record. Oh, sorry. I have to change back to here. Shift record. Let me see here. It's just uh, my Zoom shift record. Oh, sorry. I record the wrong one. So I want to record on the X, right? So that maybe happen to you as well, right? So remember that, right? You need to record on here, but we override the old one. But remember, luckily it's the same as this one, right? So we can just shift, move to, go back to here. So now I need to go back to the original origin point, then override it, right? I just need to record again, point recorded. So that's good. All right. So a little bit glitch. All right. That's my fault. Now I can highlight the X direction, move to check on that. Yeah, it's being recorded. All right. It's being recorded on here. So now, uh, if you understand what I did on the X direction, so you understand what software is trying to let us to do. So ask me what direction you want to choose Z direction, right? So if you want just use the world direction, right? So we can just jog, I mean world, right? Positive Z, that's gonna move up, right? So I'm telling robot, this is my two frame Z direction, right? Shift record. Now you can see everything is being calculated, right? It's done. So now let's move on to the first point, see how it goes. Shift move to, right? Remember that before when I jog in two, right? I want, right? I prefer to have the movement straight up and down because that's the bending angle with the my tooling, right? But before it just moved that direction, right? So now let's see if we can fix that problem, right? So press the Court key to change to tool, right? So let's try positive Z. You can see here, and then let's try the other direction, negative Z. It should go straight down along with the box edge. You can see here, we got it, right? We got it, but except you can see, uh, if you remember that I mentioned positive Z is supposed to go out from that angle, right? Let me show you on here. Shift move to, right? If you remember, I mentioned before, if you could get this direction, come out from the tooling as positive Z, that's perfect. Lots of people will prefer this way. And then the other direction will be negative direction, right? So, but right now we got it backward, right? So you can see if I jog the positive Z in two, actually I'm going up, right? Because the Z direction, when I teach here, record here, I'm going up. I tell robot that's my positive Z, but I can change it if I change my mind. All right, so let's see what we can do with that software. So we just need to move to uh, the X direction, move to that point. If you remember here, so that's where we teach the Z direction starting from here. Before I move the robot up, now I can go the other way, right? Highlight the Z direction. Instead of going up, I can go back to world, go straight down as my positive Z direction. See here? I'm going down in world. Then I tell the robot record this as my positive direction. Override, shift, record, right? You can see new position calculated. It's already changed out here. I don't know if you notice, before it's 140 something, right? It's the remainder of the 180 degree. So now let's look at if we successfully change that. We go back to the origin point, shift move to. Right. Now let's see if I move positive Z. can we get the direction we want, right? You can see this tooling, right, come out from here, and then this is the bending on here, right? If I want to do the positive z, supposed to go this direction. Let's see if we can do it, all right, with this 6-point method. Positive z, oh, oh, sorry. All right. I don't know if you notice I'm a little bit tired. Right now, I'm still jogging in world, right? So that's why you see it's wrong, right? So let me go back to the original point. Shift move to on the corner. Now click the pass it. Click the chord, get the tool, right? Now positive Z. Yes, I got it. Right. So positive Z will go down. Right. That's exactly what we plan to do on here. Okay. Hopefully from this demonstration, you have a deeper understanding with the two frame setup. Right. So I'll see you on the next video.